Hello, Seahawk Nation, and welcome back to Seahawk Weekly with head coach Myles Russ, presented by Budge Chicken and Seafood. I'm your host, Danny Solomon, the voice of the Seahawks, and as always, it is so nice to be here with you today. Coach, once again, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You mentioned in the post-game interview that you didn't think that the team played up to the Kaiser standard.
Yeah.
How do you critique a game where you win 43 or 49-3?
Just focusing on ourselves. Obviously, we talked to our guys yesterday. We had a team meeting, and just every different phase of the game, I thought we could have got better. Offensively, I know we broke a lot of records, but we were in the red zone and turned the ball over 2 times, and it's just not up to the standard that we have for the program. And granted, those guys played really good, but I just know as we continue to go through the next steps of this season, what it's going to take. And I think those guys know and understand that. And then also defensively and special teams wise as well, although they did play really good game, it still is not to the standard that we want for our program.
Well, one thing that was up to the standard is the offensive attack, as you were mentioning, a record-breaking performance. I want to look down and get these numbers right. 692 yards of total offense, 398 yards on the ground rushing, both setting new school records. So what was the key to getting the offense into that rhythm in that matchup?
Like I tell everybody, it starts with Coach Knocking, the offensive coordinator, and his staff, getting our guys in the right spots, and then also our guys executing. I think that's the biggest thing of it all. Those guys can put them in the right spots, but as long as they can execute and make sure that they're doing the right blocking and finishing their runs and making the big plays. I thought we did a really good job making some one-on-one plays out in perimeter. They did a great job blocking out in the perimeter. So it's a whole group effort, and I'm very proud of those guys.
One thing you also have to be impressed with is the defense. Only gave up 3 points. They were stout as can be. So just talk about their performance in the matchup.
Yeah, again, Coach Davila and his staff doing a great job of, at the end of the day, it's the fundamentals of everything. And we still can be better tackling, and we're going to continue to work with those fundamentals. But those guys played hard. They stopped the run first and, got at the quarterback. That's one thing. That's our core values within the defense, and they did a great job doing so. Got some interceptions, one from Jesse Wilkins and another one from Tyler Logo. A lot of guys were excited about that, defensive lineman getting an interception. So that's what it's about, those guys playing hard and being excited for their teammates' success. That's one thing that I loved about what they showed out there.
Yeah, anytime you get a big man interception, you get the big man celebration, you get the whole team into it. Yeah. Speaking of the whole team, this was a game where you were able to get a lot of guys some time that normally wouldn't necessarily get that time. So how important is it to be able to get everybody on the field? How will it help the team in the future?
It's very important because we always talk about everybody has a part of this team. Those guys get our starters prepared and ready to go for the upcoming game. So it's always great for those guys to get in the game. They get our guys prepared during practice, and they're in the film study room. They're doing everything that everybody else does, and sometimes they're not able to play, unfortunately. But when they're given the opportunity, I love to see those guys, get out there and still hold the standard. I told those guys, if you're going to get out there, you still have to hold the standard of what we expect from the team, and I thought they did a great job doing so.
Everybody was on point. It was a fantastic game. 49-3 was the final here in the game against Thomas. Now we're going to look forward to this upcoming week's matchup as the Seahawks travel to Miami Gardens to take on Florida Memorial. We'll talk to Coach Russ about that when we return. At this time, Kaiser Athletics would like to thank our proud sponsors. Banyan Printing and Signs, Budge Chicken and Seafood, Chick-fil-A, Delta Hotels by Marriott, Duffy's Sports Grill, ESPN 106.3 FM, FPL, The Hampton Inn, Jersey Mike's, Kona Ice, Lifetime Steel Buildings, McKebb's, the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, Palm Beach Juniors, Playa Bowls, and Rip Print. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Danny Solomon, he's Myles Russ, and you are watching Seahawk Weekly, presented by Bud's Chicken and Seafood. Coach, now we're going to look forward to this week's matchup. You got a team at Florida Memorial. They're coming in completely different mindset than the last game. They're coming in riding a 2-game win streak. They just went to Southeastern and handed the Fire a loss at home.
Yes.
So it's a different team than we've even faced in previous years, although they were great last year.
Yep.
We faced them in a game that decided the Sun Conference title. But now you're facing them in a matchup where you're going to them. They're on a 2-game win streak. What's the mindset entering this matchup?
I give those guys so much credit. That's a huge win for them, going in Southeastern. That's a tough place to play, and our guys are ready to go. I think watching the film, they do so many different things offensively, defensively. They fly around, and it's really a good test for us. I told people all the time that I feel like we're the best conference in the country, and they just showed so going up there and winning against the number 10 team in the country, and they're trying to knock us off what we've been doing. But at the end of the day, like every week, it's all about us, how we can continue to get better each week, and excited for the next opportunity to go against.
I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup. There's no doubt about it, especially considering, like you said, they're coming in off of a big win. But this is a team like Thomas where we have held historically the advantage. We're 5-0 against them all the time. How do you keep the team focused? Same question as last year or last week. How do you keep the team focused and prepared for a matchup that they could necessarily try and take a little lackadaisically, knowing that St. Thomas is right around the corner?
I think nothing changes. Honestly, we've been really good throughout the conference since we've been here. So that's for every team. Those stats do not matter. At the end of the day, we're focused on this year, and that's what I love about this team. How can we be better as this year's team? Last year's team and 6 years ago, what we have done all those years within the conference doesn't matter. And I think it makes it even worse because those guys want to knock us out even more. We're everybody's Super Bowl, and that's part of being part of this program. But at the end of the day, we need to know and understand that how can we get better in every phase of the game, and how can we play within our standard of football. And that's one thing that I'm excited about for this upcoming Saturday.
This upcoming Saturday's game is going to feature the reigning Sun Conference Offensive Player of the Week in Dylan Simon. It's also going to feature the reigning Defensive Player of the Week for Florida Memorial. They've got that freshman defensive lineman, Gianti. So this is a defensive line that had 3 sacks against Southeastern. They forced fumbles. What's the mindset? What's the game plan to try and slow down this attack?
The game plan is to be ourselves. And I think I feel confident within our team and our coaching staff and getting our guys in the right spots. And that's what it's about. I think offensively, the O-line has been doing a great job, and they don't really give up sacks. And I think that's just a little bit of everything. It's just the quarterback play of what we've been doing and making sure we get the ball off on time, the running game, making sure that we're putting ourselves in really good positions, and then just honestly trying to get third down conversions. And I think that's what it's about. Nothing's changing within that. They have a great team, and they're going to put us in some tough positions, but I'm very confident of what we are and what we're all about here, and that's for every game. And that's one thing I want to make sure our guys know and understand. Just be ourselves. Don't be nothing more, nothing less. Be ourselves and be ready to go.
The next question I was going to ask is, what is going to be the message to the team? Because you're facing a very resilient Florida Memorial team. This is a team, we said they just beat Southeastern, but they came back after being down 10-0. They scored the last touchdown with 20 seconds left in the game to win that game. 3 rushing touchdowns for them in that contest. So what is the message to the team to make sure that they are focused on stopping the run and also getting our run going in the right direction?
I think it goes back to our core values as well of what we're about. We want to make sure that we're consistent all the way through the game. The game is going to have a lot of different ups and downs, and how can you weather the storm? And that's one thing that we always push, especially as we get these guys here and during even before the season, pushing our guys and really putting them in some situations of how we can be mentally tough and how we can weather the storm, so we can be ready for these kind of games. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to push us in every different way. And one thing that I'm excited about us is just an opportunity to show what we've been working on. And that's one thing that I love about this conference, because we get to see so many different styles of play, and it gets us prepared for later on in the season. And that's why I'm excited for, once we go against Florida Memorial, this style of play, how can we make the correct decisions to make sure that we can come out with a win.
Yeah, you've mentioned it so many times, the difference of the variations of offenses and defense you're going to see in the conference is definitely going to help you moving forward. And we're going to see how it all unfolds as you can tune in this Saturday at 1 p.m. with the Seahawks traveling down to Miami Gardens to take on the Florida Memorial Lions. Check it out on the Urban Edge Network. Coach, thank you for joining us once again. We'll be back in just a moment with special teams specialist Dorian Hall. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning into this week's Seahawk Weekly with head coach Myles Russ. And now joining us is going to be our special teams specialist, kicker and punter, Dorian.
No problem, appreciate it.
So you are a kicker, you're a punter, you're just an all-around Swiss Army knife for this team. But how did you get into kicking?
So I really played soccer my whole life up until I was 14, and then my friend's dad, he told me that I should try kicking. So I went out and tried it for the freshman team. And then for the playoffs, I got moved up to the varsity. And then I was doing only kickoffs for the varsity team. Then after that, I just stuck with it.
What did you play in soccer?
I played striker.
Interesting, because I know a lot of people who were goalies and they ended up switching to a kicker or a punter situation like that, because you punt the ball as a goaltender. So to be a striker, it's a different mindset coming into it. Do you prefer field goal kicking or do you prefer punting?
I would say punting and kickoffs over field goals.
Is it because you have a chance to make a tackle?
Honestly, yeah. Like, I definitely want to make a tackle, but our kickoff team does what they need to do, so that's rare.
I mean, you're a big reason for that. You consistently are putting it into the end zone. You're making sure it's touchbacks. People are not getting good field position on us, and it's making them have to go the entire length of the field. So you got to give yourself credit for that too, man. There's a reason why you keep winning Sun Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. I mean, what does it feel like to have those accolades come in your freshman year?
I don't know. I'm just doing what I have to do. So, yeah.
I mean, listen, that's part of the game. You got to make sure that you take care of your responsibilities and your responsibilities. It's not just one thing of just kick it through the uprights. You got to make sure that you can coffin corner if it's a punt or anything like that. It's a lot of different aspects of the game that you're responsible for. Do you feel pressure? What do you feel more pressure doing? Trying to punt late in the game to try and pin somebody back deep, or do you feel more pressure trying to kick a game-winning field goal?
Definitely a game-winning field goal. Like, I don't know. For field goals, it's more like the wind. Like, you really have to take, like, wind as, like, a big problem, because whichever way it's pushing, the ball is going to go right with it. So field goal, yeah. Field goal is kind of like, I got to work on that more.
It's one of the hardest things in sports, I feel like, Do you prefer the right hash mark, the left hash mark, or do you like to be centered right down the middle?
I would say the left hash mark, just so it's easier for me to open up my hips.
I get that entirely. I used to play goalie, so that's why I said I know a lot of goaltenders that used to make that transition, but I didn't know a lot of strikers that did it. So it's very interesting that you were able to pick that up so quickly. I mean, you're a freshman, you're coming into a team that has been to 3 consecutive national championships. There is a lot of pressure on that to step in immediately and take over the reins. Especially last year, we had a great kicker in Nico Cavanillas. He's obviously not here anymore. You step in as a freshman, and you've stepped in and taken the reins right away. So you've done an outstanding job. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to see how Dorian fares this weekend, along with the rest of the Seahawks, as they travel down to Miami Gardens on Saturday at 1 p.m. You can catch the game on the Urban Edge Network as the Seahawks and the Lions will do battle in a Sun Conference matchup. Dorian, thank you for being here today. And we'll be back next week with another edition of Seahawk Weekly. Until then, for Dorian Hall and Coach Russ, I'm Danny Solomon, the voice of the Seahawks, saying thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Until then, so long, Seahawk Nation.